Hi, friends. Sarah here with the Holy Mess and Faithful Finish Lines. And today I'm answering a reader question that we receive so often. And that is, what can I do about menopause since I started going through perimenopause or menopause, or I'm postmenopausal? It has really affected my weight. And so here's the reader question, one of the reader questions. And this is from Lizbeth. And she says this: I think something that needs to be addressed is weight loss and hormonal changes. I'm not sure how qualified you feel about this. I mean, no offense by this, but it's a recurring theme. And frustration is that even with a calorie deficit, people aren't losing. And there may be very real reasons for that. Age, perimenopause, and menopause are huge culprits. And then another reader, Sandy, said, I'd be interested in learning about hormone issues with menopause. So I'm Sarah. As I mentioned, I have lost over 100 pounds and I have been maintaining that for almost 2 decades. And you are so right, Lizbeth, that I am not a doctor or a nutritionist, but I do have some great information for you. First of all, I have been through menopause. I'm post-menopause at this point and can talk about my weight loss experiences. And I think you'll actually be surprised at what happened. And I linked in the notes to this video an excellent research study that I'm going to reference. And of course, I would just encourage you to see your doctor. This is not meant as medical advice, but we can definitely talk about it. So I'm here answering reader questions, and I wanted to make sure that you knew too. Coming up in very soon, let's see, today is the 15th. So in a couple weeks is the Holy Mess Fall Weight Loss Challenge. It's October 1st through 31st. You will definitely want to get in on it. Every week during that challenge, I go live into the group and do teaching. And I answer members' questions. I talk about topics just like this one. In fact, the last challenge in the summer, we talked about menopause. So if you want more support, accountability, advice, direction from me, that is the place to get it. And registration for that opens September 16th with an early bird. So you'll want to get in on that. Okay, so like I said, this is not medical advice, but I can give you some information based on my experience and working with thousands of women. And the answer might really surprise you. So I put a link for a research study that is relatively new, and the research study actually surprised quite a few people. Even the people who led the study were surprised at the results. And the study was fairly large, and it was looking at metabolic rates over lifetime. And what the authors of the study had assumed is that when women went through menopause, they would see a fairly significant decline in their metabolic rate because of hormonal changes. But that's not what they saw at all. It was really quite surprising. So here's a quote, and it says, as far as metabolism, recent research shows that metabolic rates stay mostly stable from ages 20 through age 60, at which point it starts to drop very slowly. Where we used to believe that menopause precipitated a slowing of the metabolism, we now know that it likely does not. So surprisingly, believe it or not, there are not a lot of metabolic changes with menopause. Now, does menopause change things in your life? Oh, yes. As a woman who has been through it, I can tell you, my sleep changed, my mood changed, things with my body changed. So there were definitely significant changes. And I don't mean to dismiss any of those changes. But what the research is showing us is that it really doesn't affect your metabolism that much. But even if it did, even if let's say menopause did affect your metabolism, and over the course of the time that you went through menopause, maybe in the past, your body was burning 2,000 calories a day, and now it's burning 1,800 calories a day. there's still no difference in the way weight loss happens. What that would mean is, yes, you would need to eat a little bit less to compensate for that, but weight loss still happens for the same reason. Weight loss happens when you burn more calories than you are taking in, and then your body can take those additional calories that it needs from your fat stores. That's how weight loss works. That's the scientific principle of fat loss. That doesn't change. So that doesn't change with menopause. Is it possible that you might see some metabolic shift? This study is saying no, but each of us is individual. So yes, it's possible, but it still doesn't really change how weight loss happens. Weight loss still happens from eating fewer calories than you burn. So, why then do so many women go through changes during menopause or premenopause or postmenopause where they gain weight, or they feel like they can't lose weight, or their weight loss slows down? Honestly, the research is still out on that. The study gave some thoughts of what they might see going on, but we really don't know for sure what the answer to that is. But it points to more the lifestyle changes that happen as a woman gets older. Maybe she's getting less physical activity. For example, she's not chasing her kids around as much. Maybe with menopause, she's getting less sleep. And so that's resulting in, not moving around as much during the day. Her schedule might change so that maybe she's moved higher up in her job and she's sitting at a desk more. Maybe she's in retirement, and so she's not moving as much because she's not going to work every day. For some women, they are perhaps consuming more alcohol, or going out to eat on a more regular basis. They might have more funds available that they can indulge in some of those more higher calorie foods, or going out to eat more often, or getting takeout more often. We do see, as people age, this is true of both men and women, we have a decrease in muscle. You lose muscle gradually as you age. And research has known this for a really long time. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. This can be negated by doing some kind of strength training on a regular basis. And it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be a couple times a week. It can be strength training. It can be with lifting weights, but it could also be just using your body weight, things like, push-ups and crunches and squats. But that can definitely make a big difference too. So my personal story, I went through menopause a little bit young. I believe I was 47, 48 when it started, years old, and I'm completely through menopause now. I'm 49, and I actually lost weight. I lost 30 pounds the year I went through menopause, which is just amazing. And not specifically because I was going through menopause. I was actually dealing with a lot of digestive issues at that time. And I was trying different elimination diets and things to see if I could help with my digestion. And I went on a whole foods plant-based diet. And that was really what led to my weight loss. And not even because it was a whole food plant-based diet, but because it reduced my calories. Because the whole food plant-based foods that I was eating were so low in calorie density, I was able to get more full without consuming more calories. So I was eating tons of leafy greens, cooked vegetables, fruits, a lot of whole grains. I was eating like oatmeal and beans. And because I was getting full, I was eating fewer calories, and I lost weight. Now, actually, believe it or not, my diet has completely changed. I was diagnosed with sucrose intolerance. And so now I'm eating a very low carb diet, still eating the vegetables, a little bit of fruit, none of the carbohydrates, because that's what's required for the diagnosis that I have. And I've maintained all the weight that I lost, all the weight I'd lost before, plus all the additional weight I lost. Because again, it has to do with calories. The reason that the whole food plant-based diet worked for me is that I reduced my calories. The reason that I'm still able to maintain that weight loss, even though I've completely switched my diet, is that I am maintaining at that lower calorie rate. So if you are going through menopause, if you're going through premenopause, you're menopausal, postmenopausal, be encouraged. There is so much hope that you can lose weight, because weight loss only happens one way, and that's burning more calories than you're taking in. You can do that during menopause. It's completely possible. What the research is showing us is that there's no metabolic change that's happening that's making it so that you can't lose weight. Now, I know that for some women that might feel a little overwhelming, like, wait a minute, it's all up to me. I was hoping there was just some hormonal problem going on. And I understand that feeling of feeling like, oh, well, isn't there some hormone I can just take that will fix this? But ultimately, throughout all of our lifetime, we have to recognize and take ownership for the fact that we are responsible for how we eat. And we also have, but that's the really hopeful thing, that we can lose weight. You can do this. Even if you're going through menopause, premenopause, postmenopause, you can lose weight. I have women who email me on a regular basis. They're in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and they're maintaining, or they're losing weight, or they've been at their goal weight for years. So don't think that it's not possible. I was able to do it. These women are able to do it, and you can do it too. I'm Sarah from the Holy Mess and Faithful Finish Lines. And again, remember to sign up for the Fall Weight Loss Challenge. If you have any questions about weight loss during menopause, you can leave them below in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Bye.